Street photography isn't for everyone. For me, it's always been a quiet, lonely pursuit. I watch, I wait, I learn, then repeat. As Voltaire once said, the busiest of all lives is a busy solitude. After 10 years on the streets, I've learned to embrace that solitude, to feel comfortable in it, and it's the one thing I can't walk away from. Growing up, I never had a hobby that I was truly passionate about, like I'm about street photography. I'm slightly obsessed. I'm not afraid to admit it either. And at times, it feels like it has taken over my life, especially when I started this YouTube channel. Just a fun fact, did you know the word passion is derived from the Latin passio, from the word patir, which means to suffer, endure, to be in pain? I think that's very powerful. When I think about my passion for street photography, I also think about street photography as one of the loneliest hobbies one can undertake. And that's a good thing because it pushes me to my limits, it motivates me, and it inspires me and gives me so much passion to continue to pursue, capture those beautiful moments. I quickly want to introduce myself. My name is Sembrine, and this is 28mm Street. I'm a self-taught street photographer with more than a decade on the streets. Here I share my street photography journey, the gear I use, the lessons the streets have taught me, and the mindset that keeps me exploring the unexpected. Check out my website to sign up for my newsletter or read my free street photography blog. And don't forget to check your spam folder after signing up. I also have street photography courses and other resources for you to explore. Now let's get back to the video. I have always been a little bit envious of people who had a hobby or passion that they were obsessed about, especially when I was growing up. I tend to get easily bored, and I come to understand years ago that in order to keep myself engaged and curious in whatever I do, it has to stretch my abilities, all the while learning something new. So I have to keep my mind occupied just long enough for me to solve that problem. Recently started to think about why I like street photography and what led me to pick up a camera in the first place and never put it back down, metaphorically speaking, and where I was years ago in my life, so basically the life situation and the circumstances which had a direct and profound impact on me ever since, and also how much has happened over the years that I've been doing this. All the street photography growth and development year after year, and eventually landing here with this YouTube channel, trying to share my own experiences being a street photographer to new and aspiring street photographers. My love for photography didn't just come out of the blue, as it seems sometimes. It's always been there subtly in the background. I've always been interested in photography, and that is because of my dad, because he was really into photography. And growing up, he took a lot of photographs of me and my sisters. So photography and having a lot of cameras at home has always been there since I was very young. And also, my dad is just generally very tech savvy and just really interested in tech. And to this day, I still have his old SLR camera from the 60s, which is really, really cool. So what attracted me to street photography was that I could go out for hours and forget about or not think about, the small daily stuff that we all carry around, and also my work. So it was actually my mental escape, a way for me to decompress from my life just for a short while. In the beginning, it was more about learning something new and exciting, and for me to have a creative outlet that I could control, and sometimes getting away from that high pressure work environment that I was so much part of. In the beginning, it was all about learning something new, an exciting way to have a creative outlet. I could add a bit of color to my otherwise monochrome world and only focus on photography, seeing the small details, learn the technical aspects, and all these small progressions over the years were big steps for me as a street photographer, and slowly I was hooked. When I say street photography is a lonely hobby, I don't mean it in a bad way or even a sad way. This hobby or craft has taught me so much, and also it has taught me so much about myself because I had to practice it, and I'm solely responsible for my own growth and development. And yes, you can learn a lot by watching videos on YouTube and from other street photographers, but you have to go out for yourself and practice. And if you don't practice, growth will not come. So that's why I say it's a lonely hobby, because you are solely responsible for your own growth and development. Let me tell you why I love this solitary nature of my hobby and how it helped me find my purpose. Street photography can be defined as solitary in nature because it's just me and my camera. So the photographs I can make are a direct result of my ability to handle my camera, be at the right place at the right time. So the ability to imagine what I want and try to capture it on the streets. So I fully embrace the solitary nature of street photography. because it's a great opportunity for me for self-reflection and artistic growth. And also, I often get lost in my own thoughts while observing the world around me. So as street photographers, we are very much in the role of being the observer rather than a participant. Practicing a hobby or a craft that is both observational and solitary in nature gives me as a street photographer a very unique perspective, and also combining that with being a quiet observer, so basically not disturbing the scene or as minimal as possible. Let's talk about how this lonely hobby of mine has in numerous ways helped me find my purpose. It's a way for me to do something truly for myself, and it's also more than just being able to capture a scene out of pure happenstance. It's a way for me to be able to express myself creatively. I've never considered myself a creative or artist ever, and I have a lot of respect for true artists and what they do. And now when people see my work, or if I tell them what I do, they often say, "Oh, you're an artist," and that is such a strange thing for me to hear, but I guess I am in my own way. The photo walks I go on, the hours I spend on the streets taking photographs often gives me an immense satisfaction, and on a much deeper level than ever before. I've often caught myself smiling from ear to ear on those days where I was able to make a really good photograph. But there's also been plenty of times where I felt both connected but also disconnected from the streets and the subjects that I was trying to photograph. So for me, it's very much based on my mood and also being in the right state of mind when out shooting, and that's where the emotional street photographer in me comes up. So finding my creative process, it's been a long process in itself. So first of all, it's not something that is just there or you can just develop on, with minimal training or practice. It took me a long time to figure out what my creative process is. And I'm not sure even to this day that I really nailed what my creative process is, because it does differ from, the mood that I'm in, the state of mind. It also changes my creative process in terms of how effective it is. I've done a lot of experimentation and I spent a lot of hours on the streets finding out my creative process. And it's not that I went out thinking I need to find out my creative process. It's just when you go out, you also figure out what you like creatively and how you like to do things creatively. I remember when I was learning street photography, I was completely void of thinking creatively. And all those times when I came home without a single photo or just really boring, uninspiring photos, bad composition, that really affected my creative process, but also my mood in terms of getting myself out on the street the next time. So my creative process is a bit more loose these days, which means that I don't really have a lot of expectations when I go out, because often what I did when I was a newbie street photographer was that I set the expectations way too high. When I didn't meet those expectations, everything just felt like I was not doing anything right. So that way, when I don't have those really high expectations and when I do hit above expectations, it's just a good feeling. I don't necessarily now have a strict idea of what I'm looking for. It's more kind of, I have a vague idea of I would like to make these kinds of photographs, and if I can find that on the street that day, that's great. If not, then I'll just probably find it another day. I don't know if I chose street photography or it chose me. I did, however, in the process find my sense of purpose through all the things that I mentioned. So the solitary nature of street photography, being the quiet observer, finding my creative process, connecting with the streets, all important aspects of my street photography journey I had to go through on my own. It feels like I've woken up from a deep slumber and now I can see clearly. All right, I'll see you in the next one.